Hey Taurus, welcome back to the channel. I hope you are doing well. Apologies for the delay in this series of readings. However, the good news is this series of readings is based on the full moon in Sagittarius. That full moon was peaked at on the 23rd. The good news is the energy is still potent for the full moon 3 days after. So we are still good to capture the best energy up to 3 days after the full moon peaked. So we are still in good energy for me to pull for your reading, okay? I had been sick, dealing with severe sinus issues. I'm still not completely over it. I've been on a lot of medications. I see an ENT Wednesday. It was supposed to be Friday, but it got moved. So my equilibrium is stable, but the sinuses are still there. So I'm hoping to get that cleared up. So I was not able to do readings for about 2 weeks because of how ill I was feeling. So, but I'm here. I gotcha. And we are going to get through this. So I even allowed Spirit to tell me what signs I needed to read for. So I wouldn't, I wanted to make sure that I got the readings out based on the importance and where the energy was going to fall for each of these signs. And so you're next to last. Gemini will actually be my last reading. So I will probably get that one out tomorrow. Last but not least, and by the skin of my teeth. So here we go. Just a little information. So the full moon in Sagittarius, it's also called the flower moon. So the influence, symbolizes growth, discovery, and the pursuit of truth. So the 3 tokens that came out for you, the first one, which one is this? This is the empty road. Now this one did not actually land on a placement in the moon, on the moon mat. It came out sort of, I'm calling this for you recent past. And we have a major storm rolling through. Ooh. I got chills. Okay. Hopefully I don't lose power. So this was in your recent past. The next one that came out was the cross. And this one landed on inner influence. And the last one is the suitcase. The luggage, the little suitcase there. That one landed in the lessons section, but part of it was aiming towards the future. Okay, so it wasn't 100% stuck in the lessons. And I'll explain that when we get there. Okay, so basically what's happening here for you is you're in a high-level commitment or you're in a marriage of some sort. Okay, we ended up with one. Well, before I get there, I'm getting ahead of myself. It's late and I'm tired. My apologies. So the the empty road is about feeling lost and being alone. Okay, just so you understand. And so this is, the recent past of what's happening. You've been feeling lost and alone in a marriage or high-level commitment. Only you will know. It'll be different for everybody. But I am kind of feeling more of somebody who might be married. And you are a person that desires more when it comes to sexual chemistry. I believe your love language is physical. Touch, kiss, holding hands, and the actual act of intimacy. And I do believe that that is just a love language for you. It's, you know, we all can have a couple of them, but I do believe this is one of your main love languages, is you do desire more chemistry, sexual chemistry with your partner in the bedroom. Your partner leaves you on red a lot. They leave you hanging with the Hanged Man, Pisces energy. I'm not saying that they don't have physical contact with you. They don't have it as much as you would like. And it might even get to a point to where it's getting less and less. Sometimes, you know, in high-level commitments, after people have been together a while, they get really comfortable and don't focus on intimacy as much with their partners. Now, I'm not saying it's supposed to be that way. I can tell you I'm very much probably a lot like you, Taurus, where, you know, I'm a Scorpio. So, you know, we are all about passion, right? That's us, sexual chemistry, physical touch, the act. So I can understand that. I would not be able to be in a high-level commitment or marriage with somebody that the chemistry, the sexual chemistry would fizzle out or go away. I personally, that is one of my love languages. I have other ones, but just to give you an idea, I would understand that. So I believe for you, it was kind of unexpected that the desire and the chemistry would fizzle out for you. You know, there's really a true imbalance with Temperance in the reverse. There's an imbalance between you and your partner. And, you know, you, even though you realize this and you desire more and your person kind of just leaves you on red and doesn't worry about it, leaves you hanging, you try to, with the Two of Swords, you try to block this, you know, imbalance out of your mind, out of, you know, you don't want to think about it, because it's almost like if you think about it, you see it, you realize it, you're going to have to make a move out on it, right? You're going to have to make a decision on what it is you're going to do. If your person does not get on, you know, the same page with you, with your love language. Here's the problem. You can block that out, but you have to understand that 95% of what we learn, what we know from the day we're born and we're young, all through, you know, our young adult life, 95% is our subconscious, right? So it's buried down underneath. We know it, but we don't really focus on it. The other 5% is our conscious, right? It's, we wake up, we go outside, we see the sun, we see the trees, we know what coffee we like, we know what tea we like. It's, you know, our day-to-day actions that's right in front of us. You know, yes, I see that shirt, I want it in that color, you know, that kind of thing. our desires and things that we learn, that is our subconscious. So it's amazing that 95% of what we know and what we learn is buried into a database that's kind of tucked away. And what happens is there's certain times where our subconscious comes to the top, right? Certain things get pulled out of that database and come up to the forefront and say, hey, we need you to look at this, okay? Because this is something you desire. This is something you know. This is something you've learned. And so when it needs to come up, it will come up. And by you trying to block out the fact that, okay, all right, my partner doesn't want to have physical intimacy with me, or they don't want to have it as much. Okay, all right. Well, I'm just going to Two of Swords this, and I'm going to block it out of my mind. You know, I don't want to think about the fact that there's something that I know I want that I'm not getting in my current situation. Here's the problem. Your subconscious already has learned and knows that your love language is more sexual chemistry, more desire. So it's going to give you a tower moment and force you to be uncomfortable. Tower moments are not all bad, okay? Tower moments are good because what they do is they make us feel uncomfortable, so we do look at our subconscious and realize, you know, our shadows, right? With the devil. We all have devils. Every one of us has a shadow. And so what happens is the universe shakes us up and brings stuff out of the database for us to look at. So now what's going to happen is you're going to be forced to face your shadow. And I believe in this situation, your shadow is pretty simple. It's, you know, you like sexual chemistry with your partner, and you also know you're not getting it. So there's the Two Swords. One, you know what you want. One, you know you're not getting. Now it's, we got to deal with it, right? That's the shadow side, is dealing with what we desire, what we want, and what we're not getting. Now we got to look at it. And you ended up with the Four of Swords on the side with the Five of Cups. So now that you're going to be forced to look at what your desires are and what you're not getting, it's now going to force you to look at this, to make a decision. Okay? The Four of Swords on the side is, you know, it being in between, taking a rest and thinking about your thoughts. What are your next steps? Healing and moving on, you know? Because again, when your subconscious pulls your desires up to the front and you see them, you can't unsee it. Now it's kind of something you're looking at, right? You're being forced by the Tower to look at your shadow side and realize that, you know, you do desire more out of this. However, you're like, am I going to, with the Five of Cups, it's almost like, you know, I'm disappointed, right? You know you're disappointed in the situation, but that's why on this card, when people get into a divorce or if they break up, sometimes, you know, what they do is they call it irreconcilable differences. And that's, you know, a legitimate thing. It's, if two people can't change their DNA, right? If you are sexually driven and your partner isn't, that's just your makeup. That's your DNA. You can't really change that. You can try and change it, and it might work for, a couple of weeks, maybe a month. You might even get a year out of it if you're lucky, right? But you can't change somebody who's not as sexually driven as you are. They're eventually going to fall back into their pattern of leaving you on red, leaving you hanging, not really feeling the desire. And then, of course, it's going to make you feel like you're undesired, right? You're not desirable because that's your love language. And so, that's just irreconcilable differences. You can't change who you are to make this work, whether it is a marriage or it's a high-level commitment. You won't be able to actually change that. So that's why they have most divorces, or breakups, is just two people can't change who they are, right? And one of the biggest mistakes we make is going into marriages or relationships thinking we can change that person, because you can't. The only person you can change is yourself. And that's why you have the inner influence here. And I'll get to that next. So it's, you're like, is this going to be, a loss? Am I going to feel in despair? Well, here's the thing. You're already feeling lost and alone in this commitment. You're already feeling it because you're not getting what your subconscious desires are. Okay? That's 95% of you. And now it's being pulled out for you to look at. And now it's, okay, I think it's time to look at this, cut my losses, and look at moving on from this, which is something you've been legitimately trying to block because, nobody wants to have to tell their person, especially if you get married, it's a big deal. If you marry somebody, it's supposed to be life or death, health, sickness, all that good stuff. But the thing is, if you two came together not really realizing who you were or thinking you could change each other, well, you kind of went into it, blindly, thinking, this was going to work. And it's not. Give me 1 second. Let me pause you real quick. Taurus, I'm sorry about that. I'm back. So let's get over to the cross on the inner influence. So inner influence is something you can change. It is you influencing yourself to change. It's not anything, it's not any outside, circumstances, okay? This is something that you can take a look at inside and change for yourself. The cross is the symbolization of sacrifice, okay? So what Spirit wants you to do is they want you to look at what you're sacrificing, okay? Are you going to sacrifice your happiness, okay? Your wholeness for desiring more? This is the insatiable card. Are you willing to sacrifice your own happiness and your desire for more out of a connection? Or, are you going to stay on with the roller coaster? Are you going to stay, with the ups and downs? And when I clarified roller coaster, we ended up with the 8 of Swords. This is somebody who's willfully blinding themselves, holding themselves back, like the inner influence. This person here can literally take any of these swords, cut the blindfold off, see, understand and see your subconscious desires coming up to the top, your DNA, the fact that you desire sexual chemistry between you and your partner. You can take this blindfold off and, get off the ups and downs of you sacrificing your own happiness for a commitment or marriage for somebody else to be happy. Is that fair? Because if you're allowing your partner to not be physical with you, to be intimate with you, then you're sacrificing your own happiness, your own desires for your person, for them to be happy. Is that fair? No. That's why temperance came out in the reverse. There's an imbalance here. And I get it. It was unexpected for you. You probably didn't think that this was going to happen, but it did. And now it's something that you need to take a look at and you need to deal with. So, again, Spirit's just saying, hey, go within. You can make a choice for your happiness and to get more of what you want. Okay? Ooh, that thunder is kicking in. Spirit really wants you to look at this one. So let's get over to the lessons. The suitcase is all about, it symbolizes many different things, travel, moving. Let me see here. $135. Yeah, right here. Yeah. Movement, relocation, arrival, departure. And so, like I said, it was in the lessons, but part of it is hanging out into the future. So when I did the clarification cards for, this section with the lessons and the suitcase, Archangel Michael came out. Trash, which is also disregarding, throwing out. And then grip, anchor, chains, and weighed down. Okay. So there's a lesson to learn here that you can learn if you so choose to. If you take the blindfold off, take a, look at the situation. Don't be, blinded by it. Don't put yourself in imprisonment. Sacrificing your happiness for somebody else. What our Archangel Michael is saying here, and I clarified Archangel Michael to get more information, but let me just give you the high level gist of this. They want you to go ahead and disregard feeling weighed down by the situation, being anchored and chained down, blinding yourself for somebody else's happiness. Okay. Everybody has to remember, you're not here to make anybody else happy but yourself. When you're happy, that's when you attract in other people that are happy, right? Two people who are happy with themselves make a great team because they're responsible for their own happiness. You can't sacrifice yourself to make somebody else happy. This person just might need to find another partner that isn't as focused on physical intimacy. There's plenty of people out there like that who, there's the pen pals, or there's plenty of people who just like company. They like having somebody's company, spending just time with them. Your DNA is telling you that your main love language needs physical intimacy. So they don't want you to be weighed down anymore. They want you to disregard that because and Archangel Michael wants you to trust in the universe. They want you, because Archangel Michael is about the root chakra. So the root chakra is the basic trust, trusting in the universe, trusting in yourself. Because if you take a look at this shadow side, all right, and you legitimately deal with this situation, you know, there's a kind way of, you know, parting ways with people, and, you know, whether it's divorce, breakup, moving out of a house, there are, you know, respectful ways of handling that. Archangel Michael wants you to take a look at that. And if you do this, when I clarified Archangel Michael, you ended up with the Empress, Strength, the Three of Cups, and the Emperor. This is beautiful. If you trust in the universe, taking a look at your shadow side, facing it, put the swords down, stop blocking, put the swords down, take a look at it. If you deal with this and you deal with your shadow side, you're going to learn that lesson. This is one of your lessons. And what's going to happen is you're going to pack your bags. You're going to move out of that lesson and you're going to shoot into the future. This is what your future holds. You have an Empress. Now, whether you're masculine or feminine, you place yourself, you know, as the situation fits. But regardless, there is a matching pair here. The Emperor and the Empress. Okay? They're a matching pair. There's going to be passion. There's going to be happiness. There's going to be joy. There's going to be celebration. Two people that actually match each other. Who have compassion, you know, strength to do what they need to do to be happy, okay? That's in the future if you get out of the lesson. So this is, you know, kind of a snapshot of your recent past, where you are now with the sacrifice, getting through the lesson, and then going into the future. So this is kind of like a little brief snapshot of you, you know, coming from the past and what's into the future. So I hope this is helpful. I hope that you're able to take a look at this and get where you need to be, because there is a matching partner out there for you. And Archangel Michael, when I clarified, that's what came out. So they're saying, trust in the process, trust in the universe, trust in you, trust in what it is you desire, your subconscious, trust in that. You know, trust in it. So let's pull a Moonology card for you. Start wrapping this up. What Moonology card here do we have? For Taurus, one more. Okay, one more. Got it. It's time to take action. New moon in Aries. Yeah. See that? If you can read it, it's time to take action. Okay? It's time to stop, you know, blocking what, you know, your subconscious is trying to tell you. All right? Whether you take action and you decide to work this out and try and work it out with your partner, or you legitimately take the action to, you know, go ahead and pull the plug with the irreconcilable differences, moving away from this because it isn't balanced. The choice is yours. This is just, you know, Spirit likes to show that you have the option to get through this and to get where you need to be. But you need to take action one way or another. And so I hope this was helpful for you. Much love and light. I will talk to you soon.